So XPENG stock is exploding right now, so let's talk about it. Welcome to Stockflix. If you're new to the channel, this is the place where we talk stocks and shares with the aim of making you guys some money so you can reach that goal of financial freedom. Now today we're talking about XPENG because that stock has been exploding recently, and it's probably left a lot of you guys scratching your heads wondering what on earth is going on. Should I be buying? Should I be selling? I just don't understand. So you want to watch this video right till the end, because there I give you my 2021 price prediction for XPENG and tell you what might be going on in the future for the stock. So stick around right to the end, but let's jump in. Let's look at the share price of XPENG. So I've just pulled up the XPENG share price graph, and XPENG might have actually just left a few of you guys on the sideline. You probably weren't focused on the stock, weren't thinking about it. Maybe you think about NIO and some other players, and you might have just missed this run up. So what has been going on with the share price graph? So last 5 days, 55%. The last month, 260%. If we compare this to NIO's last 5 days, 15%, a measly 15% versus XPENG's 55% on the month, 100% versus XPENG's 200+%. So XPENG really has just blown NIO out of the water in recent times, right? So it's interesting. Look, if we extrapolate the graph, this is probably a lot of you guys missed out on XPENG's run. We can see XPENG was flat for about 2 months between September and October. Pretty much no share price movement whatsoever. Since then, stock has exploded. Boom. So now I've always said that NIO share price movement is about a month ahead of XPENG. So you can go and check my old videos out and see when I said that. So if we look at the share price, we can see if we take the middle of October to the beginning of November for NIO, that's about 100% increase in their share price. If we now shift that to NIO, and we go from about the middle of November to the present day, we could see about 100% increase in their share price. And this is because NIO is further along. If you look at the margins, if you look at the growth rates, NIO is further along. They're a bit more mature than XPENG. So XPENG is going through that explosion phase that NIO went through. And this is something I spotted a few weeks ago when I loaded up on some XPENG stock. So it's interesting to note. So if you want to know what's going to happen to XPENG, or one idea of what might happen to XPENG going forward, is XPENG might exhibit what NIO is doing right now. So they're growing, but they're not growing at 33%, 20% days. They have 5%, 7%, 9% days. So that's what we might see to XPENG in a few weeks' time. So that's why studying share price pattern is so important, because you can often get an edge on what's going to happen in the future. But all you guys have to do is just stay locked into Stockflix, and I do that for you. So stay tuned to the channel, and when I spot those share price movements, you'll be first notified over here. So let's now talk about the valuation of XPENG, but let's do it relative to NIO and relative to Tesla, because they're good comparables and it puts things into perspective. And I like to look at their market cap per delivery, because it really just shows you the value each sale is attributing to their market cap and if they're overvalued or not. So if we look at Tesla, they're set to do about 500,000 deliveries this year, but their market cap is 500 billion. So this means per delivery, they're adding $1 million to their market cap. Now this is crazy, considering a Tesla car is probably on average worth 100 grand. So to think per car, they're adding 1 million to their market cap. Now NIO, on the other hand, they're set to do about 45,000 deliveries with a market cap of about 73 billion. This means per delivery, they're adding $1.5 million to their market cap. Now, if we move over to XPENG, this is where it really gets insane. They're set to do about 26,000 deliveries. Their market cap is about $53 billion. This means that per delivery, they are adding $2 million to their market cap. That is double Tesla's. So it really does look like XPENG's valuation is literally out of this world. When you compare it, when you break it down like that, also factoring in XPENG has the cheapest cars out of the lot. So now it really does leave us as investors scratching our head wondering, can a P7 with butterfly doors really add 10 billion to a company's market cap in 2 days? Now, yes, they have come out with their LiDAR technology, but I can guarantee you people weren't waiting thinking, LiDAR technology, now I'm going to pour my money into XPENG stock, right? Most people hadn't even heard of LiDAR technology. And doing some research into it, it's not a new thing. It's actually used in iPhones, and the actual outcome of the LiDAR technology is unknown. We don't actually know how it's going to compare to the existing autonomous driving technologies that are out there. So again, this cannot attribute that $10 billion increase in its share price. So what on earth is going on? So really, I just have to look at the stage of growth that XPENG is in. If we look at its financials versus NIO, it just reached profitability. We're talking gross margin of about 4%. NIO's gross margin is about 12%. So there's a lot of room there for XPENG to cut their costs, manage their operations better, and drive that margin up. Now, as investors, we like to see increased margin. Why? Because increased margin means increased profits. Increased profits means increased cash. And in this game of investing, cash is king. A company with a lot of cash is a very, very good company, right? They're managing their operations well. Not to forget that they have a very fast growing top line. I think quarter over quarter, it was up 250% versus NIO, which was around the 20-30% mark. So this is a very fast growing company. So if they can deliver those growth targets and deliver that operational efficiency improvements, then they can start to justify more of that valuation that we're seeing. So I really don't think it's to do with LiDAR technology or butterfly P7 doors, right? It's got to do with the phase of growth that they're in. And then it's likely that we'll see the share price settle at a more mature phase of around 2 to 5% every couple of days. Now, one thing I really do like about XPENG though is their price point, because a real sticking point with electric vehicle car companies is their price. That's why you have Tesla working really hard on getting their battery out so they can bring their prices down. Now, the average car for XPENG, their P7 and their G3, is around the low single digit $30,000. If you compare this to a NIO, the cheapest car you can get is probably low single digit $40,000. So it really is appealing to a consumer with a tighter budget. So a lot of people won't be able to afford a NIO car, but they will be able to afford an XPENG car. And the look of the XPENG cars are pretty nice. They're not too far off the look of the NIO cars, maybe even comparable, some would say. So that target audience, that price point is really, really good. And it is a very, very good selling point for the company. So I do think their sales really will ramp up. Now, another thing that mustn't go unsaid is the geographic expansion of XPENG, because look, they are looking to expand into Europe, and these guys mean business. They've sent 100 cars to Norway, and Norway is a big adopter of EV vehicles. I think about 75% of their new vehicle sales are electric or plug-in hybrids. So the XPENG really are on the move, right? They've sent their cars out there, and I believe they're selling at the moment. Whereas NIO is a little bit slower to adopt its European expansion. I know they're setting up a team in Denmark at the moment, but there's no news of them sending cars. So XPENG really are getting that geographic expansion going. They're not messing around. They're looking to really get some sales and dominate that market and get the head start over their competitors. And this should add, is a potential to add billions to their market cap. So this isn't something to forget. It's not just the Chinese economy, and the Chinese economy is huge. There's also Europe as well. You've got a lot of changing regulations in Europe. UK, for example, they're banning gas cars by 2030. So there is a massive shift in the industry. And then that really leaves us with the biggest question is, what should we do? Should we buy? Should we sell? Should we hold XPENG stock? And the first thing I like to think about is, can XPENG get to the size of NIO? That's the first thing. Can it reach NIO's number of deliveries? So remember, NIO has deliveries of 46,000 this year, and XPENG are estimated to have about 26,000 deliveries this year. So can I see XPENG going from 26,000 deliveries to 46,000 deliveries in the future? Well, the answer is 100%. The addressable market is absolutely huge, right? There is billions of dollars on the table here. There is hundreds and hundreds of thousands of cars, millions of cars that are going to be transferred to electric sales. So can they jump up 20,000 units? Of course. The question is, in what time frame? So I do think that given their growth rate, given their adoption, given the fact that their cars are cheaper, so they're going to appeal to a different target audience and those who are on the fence about buying a NIO car and those who have tighter budgets, I think that they can hit 50,000 units by Q2, Q3 next year. So this means I think they can do the same amount of deliveries that NIO are doing now. Now, taking out of the equation the fact that XPENG cars are cheaper than NIO cars, stripping that out of this analysis, I think that XPENG can get to the same market cap as NIO by next year. Q2, Q3 is my estimate. So what does this mean for the share price? This means that you would see the XPENG share price go to $102, right? That is a considerable jump on what it is now. And I think it can do that within a year. So if you have risk capacity, if you're a believer in electric vehicles, you believe in the mission of XPENG, then I would consider still buying XPENG stock. Because as long as there's no crazy adverse issues, there's no fires in production, or they have to pull back, all of their P7 units with butterfly doors, then I do think that this company can reach the size of NIO's next year. So this is pretty remarkable. So I do think there's still room for this share price to run. Now, what we're seeing right now is a seismic shift in an industry, and it's not something that we haven't seen before. We saw this same kind of shift when we've gone from buying stuff at physical stores to going online and buying stuff. The same as when we were using old school cellular phones to the shift to smartphones. And now we're just seeing an enormous shift from gas vehicles to electric vehicles. And in every shift that we see in every era of time, there is going to be big winners. A big winner in the retail space is Amazon. A big winner in the phone space was Apple. Now, big winners in the EV space are going to be Tesla, NIO, XPENG, and some couple others. There's billions of dollars flow into this, and there's got to be some breadwinners. And these are the companies that we are looking at. That's why we're investing in them. So I remain bullish on XPENG. I do think they have a very good future. Things are looking bright. That's not to say the share price might not be rocked, because every company has business issues. Anything can arise. Something can happen today, something can happen tomorrow. And we could see a share price drop of 10%, 20%, 30%, 35%. But the long-term future looks fantastic. That addressable market in the EV space is so enormous. It's actually mind-blowing. And these are the companies, they're early adopters, and they're ready to take full advantage of this. So I'm positioning, I'm loading up, I'm suggesting you guys load up too, because we're going to ride this wave and make some good money out of this. So thank you very much for tuning in today. I appreciate you guys watching. Please do hit a like on this video. It really helps the channel out. I've got plenty more videos coming, content coming for you. Please do hit a subscribe. Join the StockFix team. We're growing nicely. A lot of exciting things coming for this channel. So till next time, have a very, very good day. Take care now.